People always ask, where did we get the name Blue Water Climate Control? When a Navy ship casts off lines, exits the harbor, and loses sight of land, that's blue water sailing. It takes a team of people to do that. Tireless work, focus, and attention to detail. So much of starting a business is just like that. After it's done, you get filled with deep satisfaction for accomplishing something. And it's quickly followed by, now the real work begins. We're Blue Water Climate Control.
Welcome back, everybody, to Wednesday Night Buck and 2MC, your favorite place to be every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. I want to go ahead and thank the rest of our sponsors. Carter. We have Alexis Hornbuckle basketball. As y'all know, July 29th, there will be a camp partnered with Revitalist Clinic focused on mental health awareness and resources. Y'all can still register and you can still sponsor athletes. Also, we have Orange Mountain Designs, our girl Terry Holder, your Lady Ball source since 2008. Y'all, if y'all don't have official Lady Ball gear, you're not shopping at the right place. Go to orangemountaindesigns.com. Go support Terry, but go support the Lady Balls and Coach Summit. She has a lot of Pat Summit gear and merch. Like that summer shirt. The Gold Standard Fitness and Sports Performance Training, our girl LVFL, former LVFL, Jamel Johnson, down in Atlanta, Georgia, where you can get all your fitness and sports performance needs, whether that's individual, group, or sometimes boot camps. Also, Just Pass It Tutoring, Learning Made Simple, our guy Nelson Garcia, based out in Miami, but does virtual help, all mathematical help K through 12, including PSAT, ACT, and SAT prep. Maria.
We are back. Alexis, welcome again, as always, the Buck of the 2MC show, Buck and 2MC. And we have a very special guest and a dear friend of both Alexis and me, of course, Dana Hart, president of the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. Dana, you are still at work, I see.
I am still at work. It is that time of the year.
I love it.
We have a lot of people tuning in, not just from Knoxville, but different places that visit a lot, of course, come to Lady Ball games. Tell us specifically why you are so busy right now.
Well, we are heading into our induction weekend coming up on August 21st. Lots of things going on at the hall preparing for that. We have a great class this year. We will have activities on Friday at the hall, Saturday at the hall, as we welcome our class of 2021 to the Hall of Fame and promote women's basketball here in Knoxville.
I know it's been an incredible year. Obviously, this was supposed to be the class of 2020 induction, and then this little thing called COVID-19 absolutely blew up everybody's year. So the class of 2020 became the class of 2021. Dana, how hard was that a year ago to realize that induction was just not going to happen, especially when Tamika Catchings was due to come to Knoxville?
You are so right, Maria. I will tell you, it was awful because we were so excited about this class. Great class of inductees going in. We were so excited about Tamika. Tamika actually worked at the Hall of Fame when the hall first opened and has been a dear friend for many years. But so excited about this class because there's so many important inductees in this class. It was just a broad range of greatness for the class of 2020, and then to be hit by COVID. And I think it all came down when we found out that the Final Four wasn't going to happen. So it was a very quick turnaround. You know, in March we said no Final Four, and then it was like, is COVID going to pass quickly, or are we going to be able to do induction? And then we realized by the end of April, 1st of May, that induction was not going to happen. So we canceled it at that point, knowing that there was no way we could keep moving. And then going into this year, we said, okay, we'll do induction in June like we normally do. Somebody's wanting to fix your hair there, Maria.
Yeah, Pat just wants to know if there's a cat Hall of Fame. If there's a corner for cats.
We are pet friendly here at the Hall of Fame, so Patches can come visit. But we decided to do the induction in June of this year. And then as things kind of slowly rolled, we said, okay, we need to postpone it till August, which was the right thing to do. to allow all of our inductees to be safe, to be able to travel. So that's how we ended up in August. We will be going back to June next year. But, this class, I feel like I've been working on induction with this class for about 15 years now. And they probably feel like they've been working with us for 15 years. So we are extremely excited about recognizing this class. And, we've got inductees that are tied to the Olympics, so they're going to be coming off the Olympics. But I think it's going to be a great weekend here in Knoxville for women's basketball. And especially with Tamika going in, I think she means a lot to all of us. And she's excited because, her heart bleeds orange.
Alexis, I know you got questions for Dana. I was going to ask Dana, what kind of special events can you hold at the Hall? Alexis, I know you could answer that one too. What can you do at the Hall of Fame in Knoxville every day of the week?
Every day of the week. Number one, you go in, you come in on that main level, so the upper level, and you walk past like the merch store. First off, go in there, okay? Go see what you can get. Go support. My favorite part, obviously, is the downstairs because you get a lot of education, but you get visuals, you get audios. You're learning about women of the past. You're learning about women who have really paved the way for players like myself and younger. And you get a lot of bit of Pat Summit. I mean, who doesn't want a lot of Pat? So make sure you go there. They also have a pretty cool setup with the baskets in there. They're kind of like almost like a 3/4 court triangled out, and then they have the skills section where you can go kind of do like a NBA All-Star, WNBA All-Star kind of skill course, which I like. I love that a lot. But yeah, you need to go. If you don't know about it, take your butt down to the Women's Hall of Fame. It's that simple. Yo, we're in Knoxville. Pat did not do what she did not create the legacy that she did, and not want any and everybody to support women and women's basketballs to go visit the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. I can literally see the basketball outside of my back window.
There's that. I love that basketball. That's just
I love it too.
Greatest. I mean, it's just such an icon. It's like the sun sphere. I mean, that's what you associate with Knoxville, are these giant round things we put in the sky.
And Alexis, you say get off your butt and go. It's funny that you said that because we did a commercial. It's been quite a few years ago with Pat. And it was Pat and it was Haller and Hilton Hill. And it was get off your butt and go to the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. And I can see it still in my head and the music and all. And, and they said, Halloran said butt, hiney, derriere, whatever you call it. And then they showed a picture of a mule. We'll leave it at that. But it was a great commercial, and it got censored down to say get off your seat. So get off whatever you're on and come and visit us at the Hall of Fame. There's a lot going on. We will be updating a lot of things for the induction weekend. We're putting in new flooring right now, so it's a little rough on the flooring area right now, but we're still open and lots of great things going on.
Absolutely. Look at me channeling
tickets. Tell people if you want, and I'll speak as someone who has come to. So everybody just thinks it's the induction ceremony, which is touching and wonderful and poignant and usually funny as can be. Mm-hmm. The best part is the VIP ticket and the after party.
Sure.
At the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. It's a who's who of women's basketball in a relaxed, fun atmosphere. I mean, one of the most popular people a couple of years ago with Lady Vol fans, believe it or not, was Dee Kantner. She was there. And Lady Vol fans were, giving her a hard time, and she was giving it right back, but in a fun situation. So tell people how to get tickets to the ceremony, which is at the Tennessee Theater, and then the after party at the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. And I can't forget the pre-induction ceremony VIP party at Embassy Suites. All of this in walking or trolley riding.
Absolutely. So we have two different tickets. We have what we call the MVP ticket, and that is a ticket to the VIP reception at the Embassy Suites, which will be food, beverages, so forth. It is a limited number of people that can be up there. If you've not been on the Radius rooftop, it is amazing. Great view of Knoxville, great view of the Hall of Fame. It's a beautiful place. So that ticket includes the VIP reception at the Embassy Suites starting at 4:00 on the 21st. Then it includes your ceremony ticket. Ceremony begins at 5:45, 6 p.m. We're doing the grand entrance at 5:45. And then it also includes the after celebration at the Hall of Fame at 8 o'clock until 11. And that's another round of food, drinks, and being right there with your favorite basketball fans, basketball players, basketball coaches, basketball administrators, officials. It is a night of stories that you will never miss out. It's like a big family reunion of women's basketball. So for the tickets, that is the VIP or the MVP ticket. It is $250. You can purchase it on our website or at the Tennessee Theater website. Then there is a regular ticket, which is $125, and that is for the actual ceremony and the after party both. As Maria said, we do have transportation from the Tennessee Theater to the Hall of Fame and back downtown. You can park at the Hall of Fame if you want to. Whatever is easiest, we try to make it as easy as possible for everyone. But I will tell you, the ceremony, as Maria said, it is fun. You will laugh. I still get chill bumps every induction, and this will be my 19th, 20th induction. It is so much fun. You will be touched in so many different ways. If you have young women in your life, the stories they will hear, even young men, the stories they will hear is amazing. We have some youth groups coming this year. We have Austin East High School coming. Their basketball team is coming, and we're very excited about them coming. We have Walter State Community College locally, and this is all done through sponsorship. So we have sponsors that sponsor the Hall of Fame for the induction ceremony, but allows us to bring that next generation in to the Hall of Fame and share that message. And for them to be a part of the induction ceremony is such a great night.
Alexis, I double dribbled over you. What were you trying to say before I asked about tickets?
Murray, I don't remember. You know how long ago that was?
You were going to say something profound. I know. Come on. What were you going to say? What were you going to say?
I don't know, Maria. Honestly, it slipped my mind. Yeah, I don't know. Call that my senior moment, I guess.
That's all right.
And Maria, I will tell you, we've got new exhibit areas that are opening up before induction. One is up. The other one, the cases are empty still. We have an AAU area that's brand new, and it's really cool because you can go all the way back to the 1920s with AAU teams, which is fascinating to see the women's game as it's progressed. And then we also have a professional leagues case, which is changed out this year. It's a brand new one. It will be the WBL, the Women's Basketball League, professional league. They will be here. We are unveiling that case on Friday, August 20th. And then it will be the WBL, the ABL, and the WNBA. And the WBL, their group ladies basketball organization, will be here for that event also. One other thing we're doing besides our inductees is we're recognizing as trailblazers of the game the 1980 Olympic team. And for those that aren't aware, that is a team that boycotted, or it wasn't just the team that boycotted, the U.S. boycotted the Olympics in Moscow. So it's kind of like what's going on right now, a little bit different. They didn't even get to travel to the Olympics, where this year's team is not getting to have fans or family there. The 1980 Olympic team didn't even get to go. So we are honoring them this year at our ceremony.
And that includes, of course, Holly Warlick.
Absolutely. Holly's rounding up our group of 1980 trailblazers. So it'll be a great night.
That's awesome. Dana, can you talk a little more on that AAU piece? Because you have me intrigued now. So when you say you can go all the way back, what can we find? Is it like teams that have won AAU nationals? Is it like Tennessee AAU teams? What can we find there?
Okay, so it's a good question. So the Hall of Fame, just to clarify for anyone that's not sure of the Hall of Fame, we are an international Hall of Fame. We are the only one in the world dedicated to women's basketball. And I don't think a lot of people know that. So the AAU exhibit, it includes all of the national champions, all levels from the 1920s to the present day. In that exhibit, it is a touchscreen. You can go in, you can see pictures, you can see information. And the good news is this is brand new. So we're adding more information to it all the time. And there's pictures, there's trophies, there's just so much information about AAU. And AAU was such a big part of so many girls that played youth basketball, and it continues to be. So that is a big piece. We're also doing a 3-on-3 tournament with Visit Knoxville and AAU during the induction weekend, and all those girls will be there in their uniforms for the ceremony also. So we're hoping that what we're doing is bringing in that next group of inductees 20 years from now, that they will be motivated and continue playing the game and still have the love of game and can become inductees in the future at whatever level they want to be.
And I love that. That's awesome.
I know some people may have had sticker shock at the price, but I want to point out this is a nonprofit that depends. This is one of the largest fundraisers of the year. This is a huge part of the budget to keep the hall open, to keep everything operations going. And I can promise you the amount of food, do not eat much before the after. The amount of food in that hall at the VIP party afterwards is incredible, at a cash bar. So, I mean, you will find food you will find food in rooms you didn't even know the hall had rooms in back in there. So you will get your money's worth. And like that whole 1980 Olympics team, they'll be there. I mean, and literally you can stand, shoulder to shoulder with some of these people you never would have a chance to meet, and just a great atmosphere. So I know the hall is dependent on events like this. And that brings me to my other question for you, Dana. I mean, venues were hard hit. The pandemic, hospitality industry, venues, how did the hall weather this pandemic?
Do you see my gray hair here? That's how the hall weathered this pandemic. The good news is we were only closed from March 17th of 2020 through June 1st. So we were closed a very short period of time, and we're back open, which was good. And even though we were back open, there were times that we would not have anybody walking in the door. So we really worked hard for any grants that we could do, the PPP, so forth, to keep things running. The hall is in a great position right now to keep everything up and going, not an issue. But we do count on the support from our fans, our members, our donors, and our sponsors. It is a key part of the Hall of Fame. I will tell you, the last year has been very taxing on a lot of fronts for everyone. Anybody in the hospitality tourism industry, it's been hard. We are having guests come back. Events are coming back. And one of the things that Maria talked about, $125, that's a lot of money. We are a 501c3, and the good news is a portion of that ticket price can be used on your taxes. So, it's another way of looking at it. Also, we are still looking for a few volunteers. I know we've got some on here that are going to volunteer. So we're still looking for a few volunteers, and that's always an option of a way to get to the Hall of Fame for the induction ceremony if you would like to volunteer that weekend. But we've just, it's a great place to support and looking at all the youth programs and stuff we do with the dollars from the induction ceremony.
Thank you. I'm trying to figure out a way. Let's see if I can get a link to show up for people. A text is too long. Never mind. It didn't like me. Okay. I thought there was a funny situation where Donna Hairston I said you could stand shoulder to shoulder with some of these basketball greats. She said, in my case, shoulder to stomach. Yes, I agree. I mean, I am short, but I never feel so short as I do at this weekend event, because I mean, there's even the guards like tower over me. It's just, you will feel short. So I'll go ahead and warn you about that. It looks like Alexis got kicked out, so we're going to have to talk without her here.
And I will tell you, a shout out to Donna. Donna, I'm not going to call you short because I think we've gone through that before. But she is volunteering for the induction weekend, and we're very happy to have fans involved that love women's basketball, because as Maria said, you never know who's going to show up at the induction ceremony. This year we are inducting some high profile people outside of players. So Carol Callan, who is in charge of USA women's basketball, she's at the Olympics right now. Carol Callan's going in. So we have the USA Basketball Committee that's going to be coming right back from the Olympics. They will be here. Some of the others, David Stern, who was the founder of the NBA and the WNBA. David Stern's family will be here for the induction weekend, which will include the WNBA group, the NBA group, which will be the first time some of the NBA participants will be here. So we're excited about that. Carol Stiff, who just retired from ESPN. I mean, my gosh, where would women's basketball be without Carol Stiff promoting the game? So we've got that crew that's going to be here. You know, it's a full weekend of players and coaches, but also these high-level profile groups that need to hear our voice about how important it is to keep women's basketball going. I think now we lost Maria. Now it's just the Dana show. I can see you. I can hear you. So those that are on, can you all hear me? Oh, I'm in charge now. Thanks, Donna. Well, welcome to the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. I wanted to let you know that we are very proud supporters of the Lady Vols here. Thank you, Beth. It's now my show. Y'all don't know what you're in for. So I can tell you all kinds of stuff about Maria and Alexis now. But anyway, as you will see, I'm in my office. I have a lot of Lady Vol gear in here. Pat was a dear friend, and we know she is the best. So my office is full of Pat Summitt stuff. I try to be neutral, but I can't. I've got a few Candace Parker things in here, along with some others. But let me just tell you about the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. So the Hall of Fame was built in 1999. Let's see. Alexis can't see or hear anything. I'm going to go on. The Hall of Fame was built in 1999. It was originally supposed to be in Jackson, Tennessee. They were unable to bring the funding in. And a lot of people will say, why Jackson, Tennessee? The AIAW tournaments were in Jackson, and it was kind of the home of the women's Final Four at that time. So now we had two very instrumental ladies bring it to Knoxville, and that was Pat Summitt and Gloria Ray, both connections there to the University of Tennessee. And we have the Hall of Fame here in Knoxville, and we're not leaving. That's the good news. Anybody have questions about the hall or about induction, since I'm now apparently running the show? I don't see any questions coming in. Hey, David Gwen, I see you there, my old buddy. So let me tell you about the class that's going in. If I'm still running through here, I don't know if I am or not, so I'm going to say yes. So this year we have Debbie Brock. I know you'll get with it, right? So Debbie Brock played for Delta State. She is 4'11". So if you've never seen a 4'11" Women's Basketball Hall of Fame player inductee, you're going to see one this year. And then we have Carol Callan, who I talked about a little bit earlier with USA Basketball. Then we have Swin Cash, which all of you guys know, played for the University of Connecticut. She is currently with the New Orleans Pelicans. We have Tamika Catchings, our all-star Tamika here, one of the three Meeks. Tamika Catchings, I don't even have to tell you guys. Y'all know Meeks. She's fantastic. Sue Donahoe, who was in charge of the NCAA Women's Championships for many years, then took over at the Kay Yow Foundation. Sue unfortunately passed away in December of this year. She's been very instrumental in the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. She is going in posthumously. We have Lauren Jackson, great player from Australia, played in the WNBA. Lauren actually is going to be coaching, assistant coach of the Australian team at the Olympics this year. David Stern, who I've mentioned previously, the founder of the WNBA, very instrumental with Val Ackerman in making sure that we had a professional league that was going to go forward long term. And then Carol Stiff with ESPN. Carol has been instrumental in the 9 for 9 series, the We Back Pack game, very instrumental in that. The Tennessee UConn game was a Carol Stiff baby at one time. So a great class of inductees. So the question is the Hall of Fame mobility friendly? It is user friendly. Yes, we are ADA compliant in all areas. We even have a wheelchair here if somebody comes and needs it. So very happy to help out. Kathy, if your mother wants to come and visit, happy to have her. On Saturday of induction, that morning from 11 to 12:30, we have an autograph session here at the Hall of Fame with all of our class of 2021 inductees and our trailblazers. It is open to the hall. The hall is open that day from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. free of charge. Come on in, meet the inductees, get an autograph. No cost there, free of charge. So that's a great opportunity to come by. Beth has asked and Renee has asked, how are people nominated? So there are a variety of categories. There is player, coach, contributor, official. Those are the categories, and then veteran. And so we put one veteran person in every year. It is automatic that we have a veteran candidate every year. For players, they have to be retired for 3 years. There's a whole criteria that they have to meet as a player. Coaching, they have to have coached for 20 years, which keeps a lot of coaches out, but it allows them enough time to have proven themselves to come into the Hall of Fame, along with other criteria. Officials is a little bit more broad. And then our administrators, that's anybody that's been an AD, anything like that. And then last time we had induction in 2019, we actually inducted 2 assistant coaches. Thanks, Alexis, for the vote of confidence. She said you're doing a great job. If you're interested in nominating someone, definitely go to our website. You can nominate them. The form is on the website. It's an easy process. Put it in. Our board of directors vets the candidates and then makes the decision. So we will be announcing our potential candidates for hey, they're coming back. They're taking over from me. We will announce our potential candidates in January of this coming year. And then they will be announced who our class of 2022 will be announced in February. And then we will introduce them at the Final Four in April. Let's see. Do women's basketball teams in town to play the Lady Vols typically visit the hall? Yes, they do. The majority of them come through. We offer them an opportunity that they can come through anytime. If they're coming in and they need to come through the Hall of Fame at 10 o'clock, we will meet them here at 10 o'clock because we think it is very important for them to see the Hall of Fame and the history. And it's not just teams that are playing the Lady Vols. It's any teams that are in this area that come to the hall. If a team, high school level, whatever, are a member of the WBCA, we have a sponsorship with the WBCA, and those teams are able to come through the Hall of Fame at no charge. So we are very accommodating for teams. We want them here. We want to share the history. We want to make sure that we're continuing on the legacy.
That's awesome. Dana, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. I can see you and I can hear you. Welcome back.
Awesome. I was about to get a headache. I was getting so frustrated. And you did a great job, though. I was listening. Okay. I could hear the poise. I love it.
I'm a talker. You know that.
I love it.
Well, Beth asked if sports writers are eligible. You know what? They're a contributor. So I would say definitely if you've got a sports writer you want to put in there, put them in. Question about our board of directors. I'm going to answer that one. I'm going to let you take it over.
All right. Sounds good.
Does that work? So on our board of directors, we just did a merge with our national and local board. We had 2 different boards that work together. So we've merged them into one, which has been a great thing for the Hall of Fame. Locally on our board of directors, it's a large group, so I'm not going to go over the national list, but we have representatives from the WNBA, the WBCA, the NCAA. I can go on and on and on about the national list. But locally, our board chair is Ann Hansen, has done a great job for the last few years. We have the one and only Maria Cornelius on our board of directors. She is in charge of marketing and development on our board of governors. Make sure I don't forget anybody. Michael Strickland with Bandit Lights. Michael's been involved for quite a few years and is a great board member. Gordon Whitener, very involved in the Hall of Fame. Joan Cronin is on our board of directors. Gloria Dethridge has been on the board for quite a few years and has done a fabulous job. Kathy Hamilton has been extremely involved. She is our finance chair. Who am I missing? Laura Woods with Eastman is on our board of directors. I know I'm missing a bunch of people and they're going to be really upset with me. Richard Matlock is our attorney on the board of directors and has been very, very helpful with us going through the merger. I'm missing a bunch of people, I know. So I'll keep thinking about that, but that's a good list of who's on our board.
My favorite's Maria.
Maria, of course.
Can y'all hear me at all? I'm using the phone now.
Yeah, I can tell. Turn the phone the other way. There you go.
We can see you and hear you.
Okay. I can't even see myself.
It's okay.
Oh, well.
We see you.
Okay.
Well, right now we see your nose, your mouth, your shoulders.
Okay. See, I can't see any of it.
Go.
That way?
Y'all, I do this to people. If I'm involved, it's going to be a show.
Oh, man. I know. Dana, listen, you went through all the technical difficulties in the beginning, and I promise you this has never happened on the show where, like, both of us get kicked out and can't come back in. It was the weirdest thing, but I was listening to you, and I almost just went ahead with my night.
I'm just like, Dana's got this. I'm going to feed the dogs and take a walk here.
Take Chica for a little walk. I was ready to go.
Y'all can pay me later.
Hey, we'll get on that. Put it on our tab. We got
Okay, I'll just put it on the tab.
Yeah,
I love you guys.
We love you. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been fun so far. A little crazy, but fun.
Yeah, it won't let me get in on the desktop. I had to just give that up and try for my phone.
Yeah, I've been on my phone and it just did something really weird. I don't know. Maybe the
you know what it is? It is somebody that wants to put a damper on women's basketball, and we said, hell no.
Hell no, we holding this down. Y'all better go visit. I know Maria. Listen, to cut off really when I was about to talk about that 250 MVP ticket, and in my head, I mean, y'all summed it up about you rubbing shoulders with legends, with greatness, with people who really are frontiers and pioneers of the game. 250, I just want y'all to realize that if this was just a men's event or NBA event or anything like that, you're paying thousands of dollars to get in there, to step foot in the door. So don't be doing all that complaining. Let's go support women's basketball. Let's go support the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. And $250 to have a great time? Man, y'all crazy. That's easy money.
Donna Hairston pointed out a lot of us are not standing shoulder to shoulder. We're like shoulder to belly button with most. I mean, I feel so short at this event. I mean, everybody just towers over me there.
Listen, Maria, I understand. Anytime I'm around other basketball players, I'm one of the shortest ones. Right? I know, like, when I'm walking around and it's like normal people or normal environment, I look above average height. As soon as I get with other basketball players, including my girlfriend, I'm short. 6'2", 6'4", 6'6". I mean, what do I do with that? I'm 5'10".
And then they wear heels on top of it all. I mean,
man, but they deserve it. They deserve it. You know, they don't need to bring themselves down. But when you're 6'2" and you put on 5-6 inch heels, it's like, oh wow. You know, so I think I might need to get me some platforms or something. I don't know. I gotta figure this out.
And I promise you can eat $50 worth of food that night. I mean, there's literally you can have third, fourth, and fifth meal just as you move around the hall. So
basically, intermittent fast in the morning, right, early part of your day, and then go and engage and be involved with all of the Hall of Fame activities, and eat good, drink good, and have great conversations. Are you telling me that's the type of night it's going to be?
Mm-hmm.
Man, people, listen, if I don't see y'all there, don't call yourself a fan, okay? Unless you have extreme circumstances where you know, obviously you can't do, whether it's medical or you're taking care of family member or friend, understood. But if you have nothing on your calendar, block it out right now. And if it's already in your calendar, follow through. If you haven't bought your ticket, go get it. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down right here? I'm in coach mode right now. No other option. Because I want to see y'all too. I want to have a good time. Y'all do a great job of supporting Maria and I and Volunteer Roadshow. And I know how much y'all really do care about Coach Summit, Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, and just Knoxville being a basketball haven in a sense. So let's continue that, and let's bring more awareness, more attention, all of that good stuff. I'm excited. Dana, this is going to be my first one.
Well, you made me want to go buy a ticket. I'm telling you.
Good. I hope that just trickled down to everybody else who's watching.
Dana, did we talk yet about the autograph session that's on? Okay, good, because I want people to know. I mean, you got a chance to do that kind of stuff too, and that's free entry into the hall for that, correct?
Absolutely. So the autograph session Saturday, the 21st, I think I said it, the autograph session is from 11 to 12:30, which is the exact time, but we are open that day from 9 to 3. I said 10 to 3, it's 9 to 3. And it's free of charge to anybody that wants to come in. So even, you know, if you want to come in with the autograph session, if you want to bring your family in later that day, you know, do it. It's our gift back to the community, and that event is sponsored by the News Sentinel and by WATE. WATE is our media partner. They do a great job. And the big news is this year, the ceremony is streamed on ESPN every year. So that is good news. But this year, we're actually going to be on ESPNU on Sunday night. It will be tape delayed. So that is the first time ever. We're trying to get on ESPN, trying really, really hard. But the fact that we're going to be able to tape delay it and show the ceremony on Sunday night is awesome, because it at least gets the exposure out there for the Hall of Fame.
That's awesome. Real quick,
I've
ladies.
got a straight up question for you, but my cats are knocking my phone out of my hands. Is the hall in Knoxville, Tennessee, without Pat Summit?
No, absolutely not. Is the Hall of Fame in existence without Pat Summit? That's very questionable. You know, Pat was a founding board member. She was a board member up until her passing. The rotunda that's right out here is the Pat Summit Rotunda, and that was with her blessing. Pat was such a big part of the Hall of Fame. And I'll tell you a quick story about Pat. She was very good throughout the years to come to the hall, do whatever. Very involved. I remember when she brought Candace Parker here when she was recruiting Candace, which was quite an event. But after Pat was diagnosed with the early onset dementia, she came in one day and she had her caregivers with her. And she stated to the person that was upstairs, I just want to walk them through and tell them my story. They know me as Pat the person, but they don't know me as Pat the coach. And that still gives me chills that she was so proud of everything she had accomplished. And everybody that knows Pat knows she was a very humble person. She for at that point in her life to want someone to know her story, to think they didn't know her story, says a lot about who Pat was. And we left her alone, and she walked through and told them her version of her story, which was probably not near as good as the real story.
Renee said remind us of the date, please. It's the August 21st, Saturday. And keep in mind, now I've got a homework. This is just not a good night.
So Maria just said August 21st is a reminder on the date. She does have an echo right now. And Maria, what else were you about to say?
I don't know. I'm not ready to throw this entire phone system.
It sounds like we have terrible sound effects. Is what it sounds like. And now I can hear myself.
Dana, I am so sorry. You have been like a group sport. Did Bobby not pay the restream bill? I mean, what happened here?
Oh, Lord. Yeah, you know what that means, Maria? That means we'll have to have her on another time before August 21st to make sure we refresh everybody's memory. I won't be in the bathroom. doing the recording, and I'll be stationary, so I shouldn't get kicked out. But before we go ahead and continue to the back half of our show, let's go ahead and thank our sponsors one more time. Carter, Orange Mountain Designs, your Lady Ball source since 2008. Terry Holder, go to orangemountaindesigns.com. I do believe they have a special currently going on right now. Also, Alexis Hornbuckle Basketball, July 29th, camp, partnered with Revitalist Clinic, focused on mental health awareness and resources. That will be held at former BFL Bobby Mays' gym out off of Old Dutchtown Road. We also have the gold standard, fitness and sports performance training. Our girl, former LBFL, Jamel Johnson, down in Atlanta, Georgia, where you can get all your fitness and sports performance training needs. And last but not least, Just Pass It Tutoring, Learning Made Simple, where you can get all of your mathematical help K through 12, including PSAT, SAT, and ACT prep. So shout out to our sponsors. Thank y'all for sponsoring us and allowing us to continue to bring this show to our fans live every Wednesday night at 7. Big shout out to Billy Ratliff and Bobby Catfish at Volunteer Roadshow for even opening up this platform and allowing Maria and I to just get on here and run our mouth about women's basketball. I love it.
Dana, any closing thoughts you have for everybody before I say really bad words?
I will tell you, I hope you all can come and enjoy induction with us. If not, just come to the Hall of Fame. At any time, spread the message about what women's basketball is about. We try to do it every day within the halls here, within the hall. There's so much greatness here to know the stories of those that came before. They are true trailblazers, what they went through, what women today are still going through. We're not there yet. We will continue to fight, and we'll continue to fight to the end. Not only for our sport, but for everything that should be right in this world. I'd like to say a shout out to Terry Holder, being a dear friend. We do carry some of Terry's items in the gift shop. She's been wonderful. And Maria and Alexis, you're my buddies. But if anybody has any questions about the Hall of Fame, wanting to come visit the Hall of Fame, the induction ceremony, I'm always a phone call away. Just give us a call. Happy to help out. Visit our website for more information on all we do here. And thank you guys for keeping the legacy alive and keeping that women's sports going forward.
Absolutely, Dana. Thank you for everything that you do, not just at the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, but keeping the awareness alive, doing all the different meetings with the AAU and different groups and whatnot. Maybe people that don't play or watch basketball doesn't know the significance of a WBCA partnership, AAU, especially as you talk about for that future coming in 20 years, 30 years from now. So I want to say thank you for doing what you do and doing such a great job at it.
It is a labor of love.
And it's not always fun, y'all. I can guarantee you that.
Alexis, I want to know how you've done all these shows trying to hold the phone. My arms are like dead weight here.
Yeah, Maria, by the end of it, no lie, full transparency, I'm straight to the point. I'm probably going to go drink a beer after putting this down, because if I'm going to hold something, I'm going to hold something that tastes good. That's pretty much what happens. Or try to prop it on something. Like right now, my phone's propped up against my iPad, which didn't want to charge for me for some reason.
We just need to get y'all here at the Hall of Fame, and we can do it live from the hall.
Oh, what's the date? When's the date? Carter, did you hear that? We will do a live show. I love this. Dana, you just set it up. So we will do a live show. We'll get back to you on the date. Carter, Catfish, bring the studio to the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. I think that's a great idea. We can actually kind of walk them around before and have a little content that we can show them. You just got me super excited. Like, I got chills. So, yes, we're going to do that.
That sounds like an amazing idea, and I will definitely talk to Bobby about it, and we'll work it out.
Absolutely. Sounds good.
We owe Dana a redo, so we're going to have to do it in person.
Yeah, we're going to have to come to her, because We did it this way, and she was a trooper. She held it down for us, Maria. It was no longer the Buck and 2MC show. It was Dana Hart, Women's Basketball Hall of Fame show. But I love it. I love it because nobody could tell the details and how to get in, what's in there, and anything except Dana. So I love how she worded that. I mean, Maria, you're like the human encyclopedia. No lie. Like Dana, did you realize Maria knows everything? Did you know that?
I did.
It's the most amazing thing.
You know what we need to do? We need to do this show live. Donna says we need to bring the fans in. We should, but you know what we should do? We should do some trivia.
I like that. I like it. Sounds like us three gals have some planning to do to make this a nice, interactive, fun live show. Yeah, so we'll go back and forth and we'll get that done. I'm excited.
And then we'll figure out a way in the next month. You guys work it out to give away 2 tickets to the induction ceremony.
Okay, Bobby Catfish, did you hear that? That's the main producer. So he heard you, and we'll get it worked out. We'll figure that out.
You figure it out. Make it happen.
Yes, ma'am. Maria, would you like to take us out?
Yes, thank you so much, Dana. Thank you for the shout out about being on the board. Y'all know how my life is. I schedule every hour of the day, and Dana contacted me like in March or April 2020 and said, would you serve on the board? And I said, yeah. And, you know, of course. I mean, support women's basketball. I'm here for it. So I appreciate you reaching out to me. And I became the city of Knoxville nominates one citizen to serve as on the board as a city, and that became me. So I feel I am more fortunate and a better person because of being able to help the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. So I'm not serving you guys. You're serving me. So thank you.
Well, thank you for all you do.
All right, Alexis, take us out of here.
Yes, ma'am. As always, thank y'all again for watching our show, for joining us with special guest Dana Hart, president of Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. Make sure that you are there for that induction, August 21st. Also, shout out to our sponsors. And Lady Ball fans, we love you. We appreciate you. Make sure you press the thumbs up. Press that like button, but most importantly, share. And until next time, we love you. And go Lady Boss.